I'm someone that has never played the Last of Us games, so what did I think of this season 2 of the HBO adaptation? Well, let's talk about it. Like I said, because I have no knowledge of the games, having not played them, having not really watched any videos on it on YouTube or anything, this is not more of a comparison adaptation for me. Like, I'm not comparing the game to the show like many people are, obviously, because the game did come first. It makes sense to compare two things, like I do that all the time with previous adaptations. But because I hadn't played the games, I didn't know of some key things that were going to happen in the season, so that caught me by surprise. And I ultimately did find the season to be very solid, not as great as I thought season 1 was, but it kept me engaged and eager to see what was going to happen in the next episode. And in the end, I found the ending actually to be pretty shocking. Now, I haven't gone back and rewatched season 1 since I watched it for the first time, so maybe I needed to refresh my thoughts on it, but I did find that this season was a bit slower than the previous season. On the plus side of that, though, you do get more time for relationships to grow, see that as an audience member, seeing characters grow and just getting more moments that really allow the characters to simply breathe, and you're just watching them in their life. And when you talk about the relationships, the one that really worked for me, and I found to be the emotional core of the season for sure, was Ellie and Dina. You could argue that the emotional core actually is Joe and Ellie, like there is more emotional, really gut punches with that relationship. When it comes to Ellie and Dina, I really just found it to be sweet, and you got to see a different side of Ellie, as she is obviously older now. There was that big time jump between the end of season 1 and this season. I thought Dina was a great addition. Isabella Merced was superb, and Merced had great chemistry with Bella Ramsey, and that really made the relationship believable. But in terms of the relationship between Joel and Ellie, I thought that episode 6 was the highlight of this season. It was heartbreaking, to say the least. What was particularly heartbreaking about it was seeing Ellie slowly fade away from Joel and seeing him have to deal with the consequences of his actions that he really thought were in good conscience and for the best. And what makes it so compelling, and seeing the behind the scenes that comes after each episode, particularly the one that came after episode 6, I thought was great. But really what sparks a good conversation is like the what would you do. You can understand where Joel is coming from, because he just wants so badly to be happy and not lose someone else. But at the same time, this is the greater good of humanity on the line. And I thought that the show did a really good job of handling that, and it made me really think and ponder. And I think that when you can evaluate ethically in moral situations like that, I found it to be particularly insightful. And even episode 6 as a whole, just focusing on the moving and beautiful moments that happen in between that time jump that we didn't see, these bonding moments between Joel and Ellie, and obviously what did lead them to slowly fall apart in their relationship. It just hits you in the feels. Another new addition was Jesse, who I was really interested to learn more about, and alas, I was very surprised to see what happened at the end of the season finale. To be honest, I literally wrote that down, and then that happened, and it was surprising, to say the least. But the character that really is interesting, and there's a lot to dive into, is Abby. And we already have confirmation that season 3 is going to explore Abby more. I mean, the end of the season finale, it ends with Abby in Seattle, and we know that we're going to get some time there. There's a real morally complex character there, as with all these characters. Just a character that I'm just simply put really interested to learn more about. Another highlight in terms of the intensity of the show, which the intense moments can sometimes be few and far between, especially in this season. But in episode 2, the Horde Rush, I was hooked. It was terrifying and intense, and really just puts you in that situation. What would it be like if hundreds of clickers just came into your home and completely destroyed it? Once again, incredible sets and costumes and makeup. Such an immersive world, a lot in part due to the production. The green screen usage was particularly bad, I will say though. And when you get to that season finale, I think that as a whole, I might have wanted just one more episode, more time to be in season 2. I feel like the season just could have used another episode, and I wouldn't have been opposed to that. I think that seems like they're kind of putting a lot onto season 3 and a potential season 4, I'm assuming. In the grand scheme of things, I could look back on the season kind of just feeling like filler, because there were some very notable things that definitely happened. And I think it closed out Joel's story. I don't know if he'll be in season 3. Maybe they'll do another flashback episode. Again, I'm still really intrigued to see where the show is going and what they have in store for us, especially that Abby and Ellie dynamic. Hopefully there's time to grow that and really the tension there. One thing that I wasn't a fan of, I honestly had zero interest in learning about any of the groups, like the Wolves. I just didn't really find that to be compelling. Every time it would flash to that, I was like, okay, I'm not really as interested as I was with everything with Joel or Ellie, Dina, all those characters. And it's not to say that on paper there's something pretty interesting there, because I do think there is. I'm just hoping that further on in the show they can get me more intrigued into learning about the groups. So in the end, while The Last of Us Season 2 does feel like a step down from Season 1, I still thought it was very good. Not great, maybe. There were some excellent moments. There were some real highlights. Seeing the end of Joel was just pretty shocking. And I also was not expecting it to come that early in the season. But I'm glad that that wasn't just it. We got more of Joel. While slower, I think the relationship really did shine in the season. I'm going to be pissed if Dina ended up dying, and that's going to piss me off. There's a lot to chew on here, and I think that the writing is once again a highlight. And while it could be titled as a filler season, I am looking forward to seeing what's in store for the next one. I'm going to give The Last of Us Season 2 a B-, and I would recommend streaming this second season. I'd be interested to see if people that have played the game, if they were disappointed with this season, why they were disappointed. If that is you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching this review. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.